Nation tonight. The World Health Organization now declaring a global pandemic, saying, quote, "We are deeply concerned both by the alarming levels of spread and severity and the alarming levels of inaction," they say, around the world. Here in the U.S. tonight, the death toll growing and the sobering words from Dr. Anthony Fauci, saying the coronavirus is 10 times more lethal than the seasonal flu. Tonight, the National Guard moving in to mark that first containment zone outside New York City. And in Boston tonight, the number of cases tied to one conference growing. The emergency unfolding in Washington state tonight. Relatives looking through the windows of nursing homes to see their loved ones. At least 10 nursing homes with patients now testing positive. Seattle closing schools for more than 53,000 students. More than 1,200 schools nationwide shutting down. And there is news coming tonight. The NCAA tournament will now be held without fans. The breaking headline on Wall Street tonight, the Dow falling into its first bear market in more than a decade. Plunging more than 1,400 points were live. Frustration growing. Doctors and health officials in the U.S. say they don't have the tests they need. The White House promising 4 million tests by the end of the week. So tonight here, a reality check. And how were the Chinese in South Korea able to test far more quickly? Breaking news coming in from Italy tonight, the dramatic new steps just in as the death toll worsens, and why global health officials say everyone should be taking what's happening in Italy very seriously. The other news tonight, Harvey Weinstein sentenced to 23 years in prison to cheers in the courtroom. And a major night for Joe Biden, several victories, and today, the unexpected message from Bernie Sanders.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on this Wednesday night. And we begin tonight with the coronavirus outbreak here in the U.S. and around the world. Tonight, the World Health Organization now declaring it a global pandemic, citing the alarming levels of spread, but also the alarming levels of inaction, in their words. President Trump is set to address the nation tonight from the Oval Office. The death toll rising here in the U.S. to at least 36, 3 deaths just today. More than 1,100 cases now reported in 41 states. Tonight, 3 more states added just today, 18 states declaring states of emergency. And Dr. Anthony Fauci from the National Institutes of Health warning Congress today that the coronavirus is 10 times more lethal than the seasonal flu, and that the outbreak is, quote, going to get worse, and that we are vulnerable to shortages, he says, respiratory protection for our healthcare workers among his concerns. And tonight, the National Guard now moving in that first containment zone outside New York City, cleaning crews moving in with them. In Boston tonight, the number of cases tied to that one conference now growing, at least 77 cases now testing positive. And news coming in tonight, among the major events canceled or changed, now the NCAA tournament will be played without fans this year. Again, the president set to address the nation tonight. The White House sending out a memo late today. The president acknowledging, among other things, the need to address the anticipated shortage of respirators in this fight. ABC's Whit Johnson leading us off again tonight.
Tonight, for the first time in more than a decade, the World Health Organization is declaring a global pandemic.
Pandemic is not a word to use lightly or carelessly.
With thousands killed in more than 100 countries on 6 continents, the novel coronavirus now meeting that grim definition. Sustained worldwide spread of a new disease, person to person, impacting large numbers of people.
We're deeply concerned both by the alarming levels of spread and severity and by the alarming levels of inaction.
On Capitol Hill today, the nation's leading infectious disease expert issuing this dire warning.
It is 10 times more lethal than the seasonal flu. I think that's something that people can get their arms around and understand.
Dr. Anthony Fauci telling lawmakers that the virus will continue to spread, but how bad it gets will depend on how governments respond.
We will see more cases and things will get worse than they are right now. Bottom line, it's going to get worse.
It got worse fast for Clay Bentley, a retired officer from Rome, Georgia, who was sent home from an urgent care after a flu test came back negative.
Over the next 4 days, I got really bad.
He called the hospital and finally got tested for the virus, positive for COVID-19. He's now worried about his family getting it.
I just assumed I had a flu. No energy. Hard time breathing. Achy all over. cold chills, fevers. I have had the flu before, but I ain't never felt this bad.
Infections in Massachusetts more than doubling, with at least 70 of the cases connected to a Biogen employee conference held in Boston last month. Across the country, drastic measures. In New York, where the number of cases now tops 200, the National Guard preparing for deployment in that so-called containment zone. A 1-mile radius in New Rochelle, north of Manhattan. That cluster, home to the state's biggest outbreak, linked back to that New Rochelle attorney, still in critical condition. Today, community groups prepping food for families, especially those with kids stuck at home.
We're definitely hearing from some families that it is a hardship. We're providing some meals today.
Nationwide, the virus has prompted more than 1,500 schools to close, impacting more than 1 million students. In the Seattle area, where the most Americans have died from the virus, officials shutting down schools for 53,000 students and banning all events with 250 or more people. San Francisco with a similar rule for any gathering over 1,000 people. The Golden State Warriors will play the Brooklyn Nets in an empty stadium tomorrow night.
If that means not having any people in the audience when the NBA plays, so be it. But as a public health official, anything that has large crowds is something that would give a risk to spread.
And late today, the NCAA announcing that the public will not be able to attend this year's March Madness basketball tournament. And discussions currently underway about whether the city's beloved St. Patrick's Day parade, which draws roughly 2 million people each year, will be called off.
And Whit Johnson back with us again tonight from New Rochelle. And with Dr. Anthony Fauci was very clear about something else today as well. He was asked if the U.S. is facing shortages of medical supplies and devices. And here's what Dr. Fauci said.
I believe that if we have a major outbreak, we are definitely vulnerable to shortages.
With the White House acknowledging that late today, and we're hearing from health officials around the country who say they could be facing a shortage not only of supplies, but of manpower in this fight.
And David, a senior official with HHS, tells us that a lot of these medical supplies come from overseas, and they're mostly worried about shortages when it comes to healthcare workers and making sure that they have the proper masks and protective gear as they treat infected patients. But they are now working with a variety of companies to try to boost supply. David?
Yes, you have to keep the front lines safe as they're treating the patients with thank you, and also breaking tonight not only the health toll, but the economic toll mounting as well. The Dow plunging again today. The 11-year bull market has ended. The Dow falling steeply, down nearly 6% today. That's a loss of 20% from the record high. That was just 4 weeks ago today. Now in a bear market, and let's get right to ABC's chief business correspondent, Rebecca Jarvis, live on Wall Street again tonight. Rebecca?
That's right, David. The Dow is now down 20% from that record high hit just 1 month ago, meaning we are officially in a bear market with virtually every American industry impacted in some way by the coronavirus. And some of the hardest hit are small businesses and those travel companies. United Airlines says that they are expecting the biggest declines since 9/11, and that these declines could be 2 times as bad as those after September 11th. And a sobering statistic here on Wall Street tonight, David, the Dow and the S&P 500 have wiped out more than $5 trillion in value in just the last couple of weeks, David.
Sobering numbers tonight, Rebecca, thank you. In Washington state this evening, where at least 29 people have now died, the governor now issuing a series of mandates tonight, including limiting visitors to nursing homes. And tonight, images of families peering through windows to check on their loved ones. A resident of the Life Care Center in Kirkland visiting by phone with her daughter and son-in-law seated outside the window there. And in Oakland, California tonight, passengers are still coming off that cruise ship taken to 4 sites in the U.S. ABC's chief national correspondent Matt Gutman from California tonight.
Tonight, in the epicenter of the nation's coronavirus outbreak, the virus ferociously attacking the elderly. With Seattle silenced and families left to peer into nursing homes for a glimpse at family members or blow kisses from afar, news that 10 nursing homes and care centers now report cases of the virus.
The grim reality is that for the elderly, COVID-19 is almost a perfect killing machine.
22 of the state's 26 fatalities in the Life Care Center alone. And there, you can see workers from a disaster recovery team in those hazmat suits entering the facility in an attempt to disinfect it. In the hopes of staving off more fatalities, Washington Governor Jay Inslee closing schools, banning groups of over 250, and warning those violating the bans.
What are the penalties exactly for not abiding by the ban?
The penalties are you might be killing your granddad if you don't do it.
The governor saying the fatalities have mostly struck people who are both elderly and ill. And San Francisco taking those similar measures, banning groups of over 1,000 from congregating, and in nearby San Jose at the airport, 3 TSA agents contracting the virus. 40 miles away in Oakland, the Grand Princess still dockside, offboarding passengers for the 3rd consecutive day. Teams in hazmat suits processing them. So far, more than half of the passengers taken off. But according to some of the passengers, that processing ahead of quarantine has been too slow.
Nothing is happening again.
So let's get back to Matt Gutman again with us tonight. And Matt, we saw something today that drew immediate attention. It really drove home why officials say we must slow the spread of this disease. Take a look. I know you saw it, Matt. What many call the need to flatten the curve. There's a line through the middle of this. You can see the red there. The forecast, if we don't take protective measures, that spike above the line there are the people who would not be able to get into hospitals around this country. The blue is that if this is spread out over time, it keeps the number at least somewhat more manageable for hospitals across this country. And Matt, that's why authorities are trying to buy some time with what they call social distancing. For you and me, that just simply means informing the public to try to stay away from crowds here.
That's right, and ideally they would have therapeutics and vaccinations to both flatten the curve and delay it, but they don't have that. So they're banning crowds, closing schools, anything to avoid a lot of human contact. And the reason for that, David, is they do not want the public health care system to be overwhelmed, but we are already seeing a faint glimmer of that. The president today warning that he foresees a shortage in protective masks for healthcare workers. David.
Matt Gutman tonight. Matt, thanks to you as well. And tonight, frustration growing over testing for the virus here in the U.S. President Trump has said that everyone who needs to be tested can be tested. The vice president promising some 4 million tests by the end of this week. But tonight, ABC's Steve Osunsami at the CDC with a reality check.
This is how they're handling the need for coronavirus tests in Colorado, setting up drive-thrus to get people tested. But they still don't have enough for everyone, and you need a doctor's note to get one. All across the country, state health authorities say they don't have enough tests. The White House is saying that there's plenty.
When people need a test, they can get a test. When the professionals need a test, when they need tests for people, they can get the test.
Over 1 million tests are out, thanks to the diligent work of CDC and HHS. More than 4 million will go out this week.
In Massachusetts, they've declared a state of emergency, and Dr. Todd Ellerin says he believes he has patients there who are sick with the coronavirus, but says he has no way to test them.
Right now, we're really limited, and the demand for testing far outweighs what the state's capacity is.
In China, the WHO says the government there has given out at least 300,000 tests at the epicenter of the outbreak. In South Korea, the government says they've administered more than 200,000 tests. But here in America, roughly 9,000 tests have been administered since the coronavirus first appeared stateside.
New York State is going to take matters into its own hand. We can't just wait anymore. It's compounding the problem.
State health authorities say that part of the problem is also the processing of these tests, that there aren't enough resources, people, or laboratories to process the number of tests that they're expecting to come in. David?
Yes, the bottleneck now at the state level as well, Steve, are thanks to you tonight. And dramatic new measures just in tonight being revealed in Italy. That's on top of what we've reported already here. This is a live look tonight at the Johns Hopkins tracking site up online. The virus now in more than 100 countries and territories. The most active hotspot right now is in Italy. And ABC's James Longman tonight on the scene unfolding there, and authorities warning that officials around the world should take note.
Tonight, even more sacrifice for a country that's already lost so much. Italy shutting down most businesses, 60 million citizens confined to their homes as much as possible.
Questo è il momento.
The Prime Minister announcing only pharmacies, banks and supermarkets can stay open, urging people to change habits in order to beat the virus. 196 more deaths reported in the last 24 hours, over 460 fatalities since Monday. Dr. Giacomo Grasselli is on the front lines.
It happened like it was like a bomb. It exploded, and all of a sudden you are overwhelmed by the patients.
The country's entering its third day of a national lockdown, and health experts are warning the US.
It will be a tsunami. It will be eating all the country unless you take immediate actions. Otherwise, it will be too little and too late.
Italian authorities announcing 10,000 desperately needed ventilators and 2 million masks are being shipped in from China. The virus is slowing in Asia, but has since hit at least 114 countries. Today in Germany, Chancellor Angela Merkel warning up to 70% of the population could become infected.
And so let's get to James Longman with us again tonight from self-quarantine in London. You'll remember we told you last night here when James returned to the UK from Italy, he was asked by authorities to quarantine. And James, we took note of that because here in the US, citizens coming back in from Italy, federal authorities say officers are looking for visual signs, but many passengers have been telling really several outlets that they haven't been checked at all. Very different from what happened to you in London.
Yeah, David, it sounds like a very different scenario. We were met off the plane by officials who handed us forms with the latest government advice, and that is that anyone returning from Italy since the 9th of March does need to stay indoors. We weren't temperature checked, but we were screened when we left Rome. David?
The guidance for folks landing in the UK tonight and how it compares to the US, James, thank you. And again, that late word today from the White House, that memo, President Trump acknowledging, among other things, the need to address the anticipated shortage of medical equipment in this country to deal with this. The president now set to address the nation tonight. Let's get right to our chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Karl. John, what have you learned tonight about what the president plans to tell the American people?
David, the president wants to address the American people to offer some reassurance that his administration is on top of this. He'll look at both the public health effects. Among the measures that they're looking at are further travel restrictions, including travel between the United States and Europe, and also on the economic impact, ways to get help to those that are most affected by this. I am also told, David, that this has now become the top priority at the White House, and that the president has brought in Jared Kushner, his son-in-law, and his senior advisor to be part of this, and that Jared Kushner has been working with the president today on the speech that he will deliver tonight.
All right, John Karl live at the White House. John, we'll see you shortly. ABC News will carry the president's address live from the Oval Office, 9 p.m. Eastern. In the meantime, there is still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Wednesday. The other major stories making headlines tonight: a major night for Joe Biden overnight, several victories, mini Super Tuesday, including the key battleground of Michigan. And today, the unexpected message from Bernie Sanders, what it means for the race. Harvey Weinstein sentenced to 23 years in prison to cheers in the courtroom today. We'll have more. And we're monitoring severe storms moving in tonight, dangerous thunderstorms, hail, and possible tornadoes. The late track as the news continues tonight. I'll be right back.